Hi, this is Caesar with More Options Coaching. A few days ago I posted a blog about the use of imagination, and I think it's important because, in my opinion, pretty much every psychological challenge has its roots in how people use their imagination. You probably noticed that one of the strongest urges of our egos is to be able to control things, in particular to predict and control the future. As something happens or we try something new, we go into that anticipating mode. We start to ask questions like, what's going to happen next? If I do this, what happens? If that happens, how do I respond? If life makes that move, what does it mean? It's like playing chess with the universe all the time. And in answering any of those questions, we employ our imagination. We start to imagine things. And so to protect ourselves of unwanted consequences, we start to think of all the things that can go wrong. And it's not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. If we continue to remain aware of the fact that it is just a game of imagination, playing chess with the universe. Because the problem that might appear is the fact that as we imagine things, those scenarios having bad outcomes, at one moment in time we start to feel those bad consequences. And when we start to feel something, we usually tend to believe that that something is true. So we start to imagine, then we continue to feel, and now we believe that the things will go wrong. And let me ask you, if I were to run my life, knowing on the back of the mind that regardless of what I do, the things will go wrong, is that going to be prone to help me have a happy, rewarding, fulfilled life? Well, probably not. Most probably I'm going to start to develop all kind of unhelpful behaviors, because our behaviors are intimately connected with our beliefs. We may pretend for a while and force our behavior to be differently for a short while, but not for long. So eventually I'm going to start to behave being irritated, lacking confidence, or maybe even depressed. But if instead of running those scenarios, having bad outcomes, imagining all the things that can go wrong, if instead of that I start to imagine and to run scenarios where the things go great, and rehearse those scenarios, then at one moment in time as I imagine that, I'm going to start to feel that great. And as I feel that great, I can allow myself to believe that great. And when I believe that great, then my behaviors, my actions, will going to align with that great. So all of a sudden, there's no room, there's no need for me to feel irritated, unconfident, or depressed by any means. And if this sounds too simplistic to you, it probably is because I wanted to make it so. Because the reason why things get complicated is the fact that we, as human beings, we become attached to our worldview. We become embedded in our perspective of how we think that life is, how things are. We forget that whatever we think that life is just a thought. And no thought, no idea can ever be the truth. Why? Because at any moment in time, I can have the opposite thought, the opposite idea. So what's the truth then? Yeah, I'm gonna let you with this. Imagination, it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful tool. Just take a look around you. Just take a look around you and notice that every little thing that you see in your environment is the creation of somebody's imagination. So my question for you is, what do you want to create with your imagination? Think of that for a moment, and let me know if that was of any help. Take care.